Okay, this is when you say something edgy. Are you ready?
Let's go do this.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to The Edge. Here we are. John Patrick Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a Yui. Music store, red neon light, just like you pictured it, I guess. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, be on the show with me, don't be afraid. We have merch, we have, what else do we have? Dave's not here to remind me, so I don't remember what we have. We have all kinds of things here, but we have Amity Wahl is here today.
Hi.
Right?
I never thought I'd have the honor.
Well, oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not as important as, my husband or some other musicians you played with before. I mean, I think we've only played gigs like once or twice, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
it was fun though.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be it's not about who's important and who isn't. I mean, it's not like that. I don't think it's like that.
Well, in my world, when you go to Stop and Shop with Pat Russo,
right.
it's everybody stops Pat Russo. Oh, and Pat Russo's wife is with him. So, he has this bigger than life identity, and I'm kind of his sidekick.
Really?
Which is it's fine by me.
I don't see it like that.
He's been teaching in town a lot longer than I have, so he's got a reputation.
So let's remind everybody who this Pat Russo character is. The famous Pat Russo.
Yeah.
So my hometown of Wallingford, Connecticut. We're in Portland, Connecticut right now, but where Pat is nothing. You know what I mean?
Ouch.
No. But yeah, Pat pretty much owns Wallingford, I think, as far as music education goes.
Yeah.
I would say. The Pat Russo.
He has longevity on his side, so.
Yeah. Pat Russo Music. How long have they been in the spot where we are now?
Pat Russo Music had its 8th anniversary as of June 1st.
Oh, that's cool.
So, not bad.
So it's been a while. Yeah. So Pat was around teaching at Joe's Guitars. They're on Route 5. This is for Wallingfordites who probably remember back in the day. And then he made the plunge and got his own spot.
He plunged because I gave him a really hard push, I think.
Okay.
He was reluctant, but I'm really indecisive. In life, I'm indecisive.
Really?
But when it comes down to important decisions, I know I make up my mind, and
yeah.
I pushed him to buy a house. I pushed him to open a store.
Way
now
to
I
go.
just got to push him to get a 3rd cat, but I don't know. He might be digging in his heels with that one.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
oh, well.
Man's got to know when to say no, I guess.
You can't always have everything your way, so it's all right.
That's funny. Were you, so you're a primarily vocal teacher?
Yeah.
You would say? Yeah.
I have been since 2010.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did all that happen?
Well, that I got to give Pat credit because he pushed me. I've always been a singer. Both my parents are music teachers. I've always been a singer.
Okay.
To some degree or another. And as I got older, I was more of a dancer when I was a kid, but music was always part of my life. And then as I got older, that kind of flipped. And music became my primary thing.
Sure.
I got to give Pat the credit for pushing me to be a teacher because it's nothing I ever would have had the confidence to do on my own.
Really?
I never would have. Yeah. It's like, okay, who's going to listen to me, right? So I started out teaching at Goldie and Libro Music School in North Haven.
Oh.
And then, and I was teaching on the side out of wherever we lived at the time, apartment or house or whatever. And then we kind of branched into our own place. I started out with one student, and now I've got a lot.
Right, yeah. No, that's the way it works. Yeah, that's cool. Where did you grow up doing all this?
Well, I was born on a cold November night in Buffalo, New York.
I see. Okay.
So I moved here when I was 5, and my parents divorced, and I pretty much been in Wallingford ever since.
Oh, okay.
Give or take a few years here
all
and
right.
there.
Is that where the whole Buffalo thing comes from you with Pat?
Well, no. His Buffalo obsession, it was organically grown, totally separate from
Oh,
me.
wow.
He kind of became obsessed with the team, and then I think because I'm from there, I think he saw that as part of like the divine intervention of
Wow.
meeting me.
Hey,
You know, it's like, oh my God,
that's cool.
a girl from my favorite town. So,
Yeah, because he's all about the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's funny. How many games you guys been to?
Well,
now?
he just went to the preseason game that just happened. I sat out and let my nephew go with him. And usually we'll go. I only go in like September, October. I like cold weather,
Yeah.
but those metal benches really freeze your butt, and
Yeah.
I can't go any colder than that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then he'll take my nephews or my brother-in-law or whatever.
So he doesn't care.
He does, but he's diehard enough to let it slide.
He'll
I
just
think
go.
he puts his little hand warmers and foot warmers in, and he goes for it.
That's
you know?
funny. That's funny. So your parents are music teachers in Wallingford?
My mom was. My dad taught for a while and then realized he didn't like it, so he became a fireman instead.
Oh, wow.
But he's a really great singer, a really good bass voice. But he was a voice major. And then my mother was a flute major, guitar minor, and she taught in Wallingford for a long. Like I had her for vocal music in fifth grade. That was interesting. But she retired in 2019, but she still teaches at our place on Mondays. She teaches all the band and orchestra instruments that we can't do.
Oh, that's
clarinet,
cool.
trumpet, all that, cello, all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. What school did she teach at?
She's taught all over town. I think most recently she taught at Highland because they
sure.
split the elementary schools. So she taught 4th and 5th grade instrumental music.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
I went to Highland.
Oh, did you?
For 1 year. Yeah,
I did
5th
not.
grade. Yeah.
I went to old Yalesville, and then they kicked us out to renovate it, but they kicked us out into New Parker Farms.
Oh,
so I was
right.
at New Parker Farms for a
Right.
year before I went on to Moran and Sheehan and
Yep, me too.
all that lovely stuff.
Yep, that's cool. And so always singing, and then were you in bands and stuff before you started teaching? Or how did that all go?
Well, I mean, I kind of, it was rare for me to not be singing in some capacity at school, at chorus.
Yeah.
I was a varsity singer at Sheen.
Oh, wow.
And in college, I got more into more classical type stuff. I was in the UMass chorale, the UMass chamber choir. Then I moved to UConn, and I was in the chorus there. And then I co-founded an a cappella group. And I kind of found, I really love harmonies, so I kind of fell in love with a cappella that way. And as far as bands go, I kind of dabbled here and there, but I was never I never did anything serious band-wise until Pat and I kind of started our ongoing forever band project that we do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so he kind of got you into singing with bands.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And that's how I met you the first time, because you came over to our house to record like drum fills for one of our songs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You were really crabby though. I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, well, nothing changes. Yeah.
But over time, I've gotten to appreciate your lovely, dry sense of humor.
Oh, well.
I
only know this is the only way I know how to be. Sorry. I've tried being other ways.
You know, I appreciate it. I think your students appreciate it. So.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I think they do.
Yeah.
I hope. I think. So Pat was like, you should teach.
Yeah, and I was like, "What? You think I should what?
Yeah, right.
Like, are you serious?" But then, I just started slow, and it took some years. But over time, I kind of developed my own method, my own way of doing things, and
Sure.
It really, you take the things you learn from the people throughout your life, you take the best of that, and you compile it into your own personal way. And to this, I'd felt like I had kind of plateaued as a singer not too long ago, a couple years ago, and I went and found myself a teacher who has further changed how I sing and what I'm doing. And so, like, I don't know, you just and I gotta give Pat credit again, man. I gotta. He was the one who said, there's more in there than you're using, and I'm like, nah, you're full of it.
Really?
And but I found this teacher, and it really was true. He kind of brought more out of my voice than I ever thought I could do, and just goes to show you, don't plateau. There's always someone who can help you along if you want to get better.
Yeah, right. Is it strictly mechanics? Like
mechanics,
bringing more out of your voice or out of your performance, or
yeah, I mean the method I've learned thus far is, well, it's a many faceted process.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like stuff I knew, but I had to dig extra deep to get there physically. Like, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it. It's like just different ways of using what you have better. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Huh.
Singing is like, I think, okay, so I don't know about teaching drums. I'd be the worst drummer in the world. But like if I'm teaching someone something on guitar, it's like finger goes there, note comes out.
Sure.
But I think singing is different than anything else because it's like intangible. And you have to try to describe to someone how to feel a certain way when they're singing a certain thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to be inventive because everybody's different. Everybody approaches learning differently.
Yeah.
So like trying to describe the singing learning process is kind of tricky and very individual, I think, for me. So.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Especially if they're like young kids.
Yeah, especially with the young ones. Like I've had to come up with all sorts of goofy things that have to do with animals or food or unicorns or whatever to so you're a unicorn and you're breathing in your belly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool though. I mean, yeah, that's got to be challenging. I had a guest recently who was a vocal teacher too, and I'm just kind of like, what's that all about? I can't imagine how that is.
To me, singing is like a slow, cumulative taking over of your own muscles. It's like a slow learning of control over time, and it's a slow go. It really is. Yeah. I don't know. My teacher just told me I had mastered something that I've been working on for 2.5 years.
Oh, hey.
So it's tough, but it's so worth it to like feel that thing that's your instrument just create something you never thought it could. It's really cool. I guess it's like playing a drum beat you thought was impossible.
Yeah, I just did that.
Nice.
I'm working on something for over a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not supposed to be that hard.
Kids don't understand that. Like, they don't get that. Sometimes it has to be the long haul. Like I've been playing a piano piece for probably 6 months.
Yeah.
And I still don't have it down, but it's like,
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
I think so. I mean, I do this once in a while, but I took this opportunity to do it. I had like a no-show once for half an hour, and there was like this kind of famous drum beat, and I said, I'm going to learn that in the next half hour. I have nothing to do. And a month later, I was still working. I just realized, I'm like, oh no. And I thought, you know what? Why don't you stick with this? Because it puts me in the same headspace as a student where it feels insurmountable. You'll never do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like this for vocals, but for instrumental, it's just like, you got to practice. You got to tell them, it's a drag, but it's true. You have to do it a lot of times.
Yeah, there's a lot of muscle memory involved.
Yeah.
In everything like that.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, how can I keep saying that to every student and not remember that it's actually true? It's like, oh, okay.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
It's like you become ear blind to your own advice.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I try to put myself in the zone or pick up another instrument a little bit just to remember how it feels for it to be insurmountable. Just like, I'm never going to get this. Like, well, no, you will.
Yeah.
You can get it. You just got to be patient with yourself.
Yeah, how old was I? I don't remember. Maybe I was in my 20s, and my mom put this, I think it's like a Calvin Coolidge quote about the power of persistence up on the wall, and I really resented her for it.
No, that was Calvin Klein. But no idea.
But it was really true. I mean, oftentimes, like, I'll find that the students who persist pull ahead of the ones who have like the more natural talent or the easier time of it because they keep trying.
Totally.
So it's funny how that works.
I think
it's a good lesson for me to see.
Well, yeah, no, I think that's true. I mean, that was my problem. I remember my drum teacher told me I had like a big chunk of natural talent, but I was lazy, you know. And I thought, well, no one can catch me. You know, no one will ever catch me.
Oh.
And I remember, you know, my drum teacher telling me he knew that I knew another kid. And he was like, he's going to pass you out. He doesn't have the talent you have, but he works his ass off and you don't. And there's going to come a day when you're going to wonder what happened.
Yep. Did it come?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, and yeah, because.
Or did that make you work a little harder to stay ahead of the game?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, now I could care less, but at the time when I was that age, it was very important for me to be the king of the Mr. Big Shot, you know. So I just thought, well, okay, you know, I got to make sure I figure out how to actually work for real.
Yeah.
And
I get it though. Like I have a tendency to Pat will laugh when he hears this. I have a tendency to be a bit of a procrastinator sometimes, especially when I'm afraid of what I am not capable of.
Yeah, right.
You know, so.
Yeah. Well, that sounds.
I shrink away from fear sometimes.
Well, you know, that's I can't help you with that. You know, I mean, I think that we all do that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's I kind of figured it out. And yeah, hard work. There's nothing like it. Even though I don't like it either. But,
yeah.
But you know, that's the one surefire way to get it.
True.
And then, but yeah, that's funny.
But those are the I say kids because I work more with kids than adults. But I think, you know, that's the thing with people. You see the ones who persist work so hard, and when that day comes when they get that thing, it's like the you know, the gratitude you feel for that is like doubled because you know how hard it was for that person to do that thing. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I love seeing that. Yeah. No, yeah, it is definitely cool. That's one of the good parts. Yeah, I feel like, you know, a lot of times I don't know about you, but actually you guys are over at Pat Russo, very performance oriented. So there's a goal. Yeah. So they're going to play. A lot of times, depending on where I'm teaching, if that is not the goal, it's like, I don't know if someone's going to be a musician in their life. I have no idea, but I hope that I'm showing them how to achieve a goal. Like you could achieve a goal. If it's something that you're interested in, it'll kind of help you along. And then you start to believe that like, all right, I can actually. It's just as much of a mindset thing as anything. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I mean, I would hope at the very least that's what, you know, some students walk away with of like, oh, okay, you know, it can be done because it can, especially if you have, like, I'm sure it's the same with you. You have somebody like my job is, I don't know if it's anything like this, but all I do is try to slow the brain down. It just slow it down. It's cool. I totally get it, but let me just slow you down and break it down, and then you'll start to get your results. And then, you know. Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah. It's like, go slow, speed will come with time. Sure. Just breathe. Yeah. Because you have people like, they just want to race through their exercises. It's like, that's not the point. You're missing the point. Yeah, you got to get the air in. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, you know, we're there to at least hopefully some of it will sink in. You know. What was the biggest challenge when you decided like, okay, I'm actually going to teach, I'm going to do this? What was the biggest challenge for you? Take yourself back. Okay. I guess, like I said, kind of coming up with my own personal way of doing things. Yeah. And, you know, not to talk badly about the place because they gave me a start. But at Goldie and Libro, there were no resources in the room at all. Really? Like, no. I think one of the secretaries used to make sure I had a CD player in the room. Oh, right. But like, I had no computer, no nothing. Oh, wow. Okay. So it was like I had nothing to back me up, no tracks to work with, so I had to be pretty inventive on the fly sometimes, just because I didn't have a lot of things around that were going to assist me. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just getting over my own anxiety and kind of building up the confidence to say, yes, I am worthy of helping this person do this thing. I guess because I as a person, I'm not generally very confident. So I would say I've got a lot of insecurities, and because of that, it's, you have that thing in your mind. It's like, who's going to listen to me?
Oh, wow.
Well, so,
Well, they are coming to you, so fake it till you make it.
Oh, they listen now.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
I'm confident now, so
yeah.
much to their dismay.
Yeah, well, no. It's the way it's got to be. Yeah, that's funny. So Pac kind of got you rolling.
He really did. He did.
Because he just felt like that's what you should be doing?
I guess he saw that in me, and I didn't, just because of that lack of confidence and probably like lack of experience, I guess, being a teacher in that capacity. But he kickstarted it, and I never wanted to do music for a living. I never went to school for it. I never anticipate. I purposely avoided going to school for music because I didn't want something I loved to become a chore.
Yeah, right.
So I just did it as a hobby forever, and but I guess a lifetime of learning from my parents and my teachers, and just kind of
right.
It all came full circle.
What did you go to school for?
I have a history degree.
Oh, wow.
I read history books for fun. I'm that kind of nerd. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I was going to say, so yeah, here I am making fun of Calvin Coolidge, Calvin Klein, and you actually know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am that old, yes.
Well, are you glad? You're glad that you took that turn?
I am
working with Pat?
Infinitely glad.
Oh, good.
It has made all the difference in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't hate music like you thought you might? I
was so scared, but no, I love it. It's my job and my hobby.
Yeah.
It's my life.
Yeah.
And it got me out of, I always knew I was the kind of person who wasn't meant for an office job, but I got one out of practicality and insurance and all those other reasons. Grown-ups in quotations do these things. And finally, when I got enough of a client base, I was able to get the hell out of there, and it was like the best day of my life.
Wow.
So Pat is the one that made the little snowball that started rolling downhill.
Right. Well, that's kind of how he did it too.
Yeah.
We all do.
He was a lot younger and a lot less experienced. I mean, I think he started teaching when he was like 17 or 18 or something.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of years on me.
Well, yeah, but he knows, I guess. He made it his life.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah. But that was kind of his goal. And I was like avoiding that.
Yeah, right.
But it all came together anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I guess he kind of knew.
Yeah.
And then, so I don't remember how it all happened, but he was over there. Did you guys move into that place while Joe's was still open?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Joe's was still open. Right. Yeah.
It was just time?
It was time. Yeah. I think things had just gotten to the point where it was the right moment to make the plunge. Take the plunge?
Yeah.
And this spot was like small but manageable and not too expensive, and the landlords were great, and the stars just aligned at the right time. And I mean, we had to go in and build everything in there.
Oh boy.
But I painted the walls myself.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So there was no ceiling, there was nothing on the floor. It was a bare room.
Wow.
So we really did build it from the ground up with students and the physical place and the energy and everything.
What was it before you got? Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Remember, way back in the day, it was like a deli.
It was a deli. It was like a hair salon.
Oh, okay.
It was a computer parts place, and I think right before us, it was is it like AA Lock Serve? I think they moved to like the Industrial Road.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
So it was a lock shop.
That's okay. Yeah. That's cool. And you told him. You told Pat it's time.
Yeah, because he gets anxious about things, and
Yeah.
he's the kind of person who has the mind that he like ferrets out every scenario that could possibly happen, and then he worries about it. So, with little things, big things, everything.
Yeah, what was this weird...
Everything.
Let's throw Pat under the bus for a second. I didn't even understand it.
He made me promise to behave myself.
Oh, okay. There was one day he wanted me to give him my key to the front door because he didn't want anyone to have a key because there was some sleepover or some reason or something. I was just like, whatever, here. I couldn't even follow it. He was like, because if there's a key out there.
Yeah.
And
the sleepover didn't end up happening, but one of our all girl bands wanted to have a sleepover at our place, and we didn't want like any shenanigans. And it's not that we don't trust you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that he
in his
liability.
mind, he was like, I want every key here.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He's just super careful.
That's too bad, because when he told me that there was the girl band sleeping over, I immediately went out and bought a Michael Myers. I was just going to walk in front of,
Well, we already had the sheets to put over the windows and everything.
Oh, really?
So they wouldn't have seen you. Yeah. We were keeping it, their own thing.
That's
Keep
funny.
it private from prying eyes.
Yeah. But Pat was like, there was some reason why. And I'm just like, I don't care. Just whatever here. I don't. Yeah.
So yeah, he gets anxious about things, but it's because he's very like prevention oriented.
Sure.
Like as far as like anything, he's always trying to prevent bad things from all angles.
Well, yeah.
So he was like, what if what if I can't afford this? What if
Yeah.
this happens? And it's like, just effing do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is your shot. Everything is perfect. Just go for it. We're gonna make it happen. Don't you worry.
And it worked. Did it work right away? I don't remember. I mean, he's always had a lot of students.
Yeah, he's always had a lot of students. I think we were open for, was it 1 year or 2 years before I left my full-time job to do that full-time. So so we still had like my insurance and everything to fall back on. So that wasn't a worry, and I had like a steady paycheck. So not that I made a great salary, but it was okay.
So that was a big deal when you're like, we can actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it was the same way when we bought a house. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, it's time. It's time now. So
Well, that's kind of how we operate too. When it was time to buy a house, for once in my life, I said, why don't you just shut up? Because she was like, we should do this now. Based on, no offense to her, but based on no knowledge, she just knew, like, I think now. And my inclination is to explain 50 million reasons why this, and I just thought to myself, why don't you shut up for once and just get behind her, and then later you could say, I told you so. And like, next thing I know, we're in the house. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
And from what I hear, your house is kind of like my dream house. So
is it?
Yeah, I've always wanted a
bungalow. You want to live in a haunted house with noises all night, every night?
I don't. I live with cats. They run around all night, so it's all the same. But no, you have like you have a special bungalow house, right? Like an original. See, that's my dream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys should come over.
I would love to visit your house.
All right. Well, we'll make that happen. Nice. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is haunted.
That's cool, though. I don't know.
I don't even care anymore. I'm at the point where I'm just like, just keep it down.
How many ghosts do you have? And do you know who it is?
I think I do.
Ooh.
I think I do. I think, as far as I know, it's the couple that built the house.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's fine. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I just tell, our joke is like, well, we're gonna die here too. Like, we love your house.
Get
like
ready.
I got it. You know what I mean? Like, we love your house. Like, it's gonna be cool. We're not gonna let anything happen to it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they appreciate that on some level, that it's cared for by people who love it.
I hope so.
That must mean a lot.
I hope. I mean, they could tone it down a little bit occasionally, but that's okay.
They're entitled to have the fun they want to have.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, to be honest with you, you know what? This is not the conversation to have, but I don't even see. I'm going to say this now. I don't even think it's them. I just think it's left over. I think there was a fire, and I think because they make ruckus, they wake me up, and there's a thing. I think that there was an emergency. I think it's just left over.
Maybe they're trying to caution you.
Yeah.
They could be guardian ghosts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just think it's leftover activity. I don't even know if it's connected to the people anymore. It's just a thing.
Are there like visual signs of like past fire inside?
No.
Okay.
No. But I think they're going to where the well was. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
But it happens, and it happens in cycles. It doesn't happen, and then it ramps up. And then once it gets cranking, it cranks, and then it goes away for a while. So I'm trying to...
Does it happen around a certain month or a certain holiday?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, find the pattern.
I'm trying to
keep a ghost journal.
Yeah, trying to find the pattern.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I don't mind. At this point, I'm like, if this is all it's going to be, I can handle it.
No, I've never lived in a haunted house.
Me
but
neither.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
As long as they weren't malicious.
Yeah, no, I don't get that sense. I mean, I would, I would get the sense. I think that if it were more than that, but I don't think it is. So, whatever.
Wow, tangent.
Yeah, well, that's what we do.
Yep.
So, talk about your the If Not for Dreaming band project, whatever. If Not for Dreaming.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Why not?
That's it's been going. It's kind of scary to think of how long that's been going on. Has it been like 12, 13 years?
Whoa.
Yeah. And we've had so many different incarnations and lineups and stuff, but right when quarantine kind of lifted, we, kind of like probably July of 2020, we had gotten Miles, one of our guitar teachers, and our friend Mike, who is not a drummer but is now.
Yeah.
Together just to try a song, just to see, and it was just like.
And who plays bass? You?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah. I was playing guitar in the band previously, and we had taken some years off because Pat was losing his mind, and it's a long story, but we had kind of morphed into more of an acoustic thing, but then he had like nerve damage from putting his arm over the acoustic guitar. He couldn't play acoustic anymore. And we were like, let's take a hiatus. And this Pat decided, let's just get together with these guys and see how it works. And it was just like one song, Shiver, the one you played the drum fills on. We played that song once, and it was when we finished, I just looked around, I'm like, oh my God, this is this is what we were meant to be all along. It was like, when like that I don't know, that magic happens when you have four people who are, and I think I'm the least, I think I'm the weakest link in the band personally, but because everybody's so good at what they do. But you all come together and you just have that spark. It was so unreal. It was like, it's the kind of thing you think doesn't really happen to a band, and it really happened. Yeah. So yeah, we've been working on some new recording and writing lately, and kind of, I don't know, we go through phases. We started out kind of dream pop, indie pop, then we got into like alt rock, and then Pat and Miles, with their forces combined, we got into kind of like an 80s metal stage. Oh, wow. And now we're getting back to the dream pop roots. So yeah, we kind of go with our moods that way, but it's interesting.
Why not?
You get to express all sides of yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Although I'm better at writing angry than nice.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I'm a really angry person.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, try to control yourself.
I'll try.
That's the thing.
I laid off on the caffeine for you. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Believe it or not, this is me caffeinated. This is where I'm at.
Jeez.
Right now. Yeah. That's okay. I mowed the lawn earlier. I'm tired.
I was going to say. If this is you caffeinated.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're so laid back.
Well, yeah, I guess. Where you guys have any dates coming up that you want to talk about, or are you just chilling?
No, because we're still in the writing and recording stage, and our recording has been happening in like fits and starts, kind of, but we've got some new songs in the works, and I don't know if Pat talked about this when he was with you, but Beau Hill, famous 80s producer.
Oh, yeah.
he produced the 5 songs that we wrote during quarantine, which was just like and such a great honor for him to take that on. And he was so nice and so receptive. And, you know, Pat gets all giddy whenever he calls him. He just respects him so much. So, you know, I don't know if he's going to do our next set of songs. I think Pat's going to check and see where we're at with that. But if we do it all ourselves, that's okay. That's what we're used to doing. But, you know, I think we recorded some drum tracks, and Pat's a stickler for that snare drum, you know. So I think he wants to redo some things and re-mic things differently. And
sure.
Yeah, so we're tinkering.
It's always a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You guys don't play as a duo anymore, you and Pat? Sometimes?
Not original music, but we play out as a cover duo. You know, bars, restaurants. We play a lot of senior care facilities. We play, you know, the Sinatra, the
why not?
Bobby Darin, and the things like that that makes them happy. So.
Yeah, why not?
So we do that during the day before we go to work.
Really?
Sometimes.
Is that right? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's how we save up for our lavish Disney vacations, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What's that all about? Is that both of you guys? No.
That is definitely both of us. It's so funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's so funny. Both of us are really like memory driven to kind of recreate nostalgic things from when we were kids.
Okay.
That's the reason I'm in the middle of watching like the Gummy Bears on Disney Plus again. Anything I watched when I was a kid from the Disney afternoon, like DuckTales, like all that stuff I love. You know, Gem and the Holograms, all the old cartoons. Like that's how I kind of get my kicks. But I have really good memories of going to Disney when I was a kid and with my grandparents, and so does he.
Cool.
So it's like a mutual expensive nostalgia thing we do.
So you guys are like, let's start doing that. Like when you met, you were like, you're into that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The first time we went, I was just like, oh my God, because I hadn't been since I was a child.
Oh, I see.
It was like surreal to stand near the Epcot ball, and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, right.
You know, mind blowing.
Yeah, that's wild.
One year, I think we went 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to be annual pass holders, and now it's prohibitively expensive. So we go like once or twice a year.
What's your favorite thing to do there?
Oh God.
Like, what's the thing?
I don't know. I kind of like to eat.
Oh.
I like to. We both have crazy sweet tooth things going, so we like the desserts. But I don't know. I like the classics. You know, Haunted Mansion, Pirates, stuff like that. People Mover.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do upside down roller coasters because I get easily motion sick. So I haven't done the crazy ones like the Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster and stuff like that. But
Space Mountain is still safe.
Yeah, that is safe.
You're cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do crazy ones either.
Yeah, I can't. The one time, this is gross. But the one time I did the first time we went to Animal Kingdom. I think the second day we were there, and went on Expedition Everest, not knowing it went backwards.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's a big tall roller coaster. It's like you go to the highest point, and then the Yeti tears up the tracks, and then you get shot backwards down a tunnel in the dark. And that messed me up so badly.
Really?
Oh my God, I was sick for like a couple weeks.
Oh wow.
And my head just can't take it.
Ooh.
I mean, I went on the Dr. Seuss ride at Universal Studios, and I got too dizzy at that one. Right. I'm a baby, so.
I haven't. Yeah, I don't do stuff like that.
Smart. Yeah, just avoid it.
Well, I played there for a couple of years at least, and I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Kinda. And at one point, I don't even remember how this happened, but Paula was with me. Mm-hmm. So there we were. And she'll go on anything. Oh, I don't go on anything. And she talked me into going on the Tower of Terror thing. Oh, boy. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, I'm a grown man. I don't want to. It's not my thing.
No means no.
Really. Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
And we got to the point where, like, I don't know. You're like, you're getting ready to do the thing, and then the tour guide says, "Is there anybody who wants to leave or whatever?" And I was like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
And because I just was like, okay. And everybody, they kind of made fun of me. Like I got bullied into going on the thing, and I'm just kind of like, all right, whatever. And it was fine, but I did it, and I'm like, whatever. It
Did you feel gross afterward?
Well, I mean, I didn't like. I just was like, this is not my thing.
Mm.
And Paula's like, oh, it wasn't that bad, was it? I'm like, it sucked. I told you I didn't. I'm a grown man. I don't want to be dropped in the dark. Like, it's cool. I can imagine what it's like. I know it's not real, but I knew that I didn't want to do this, and I'm not happy that I did it. Yeah. It's fine, but I'm just like, no, that's,
I can't believe people will be funny. I went through the line with Pat at one point, and I went out the coward's door, no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean, I might be
I did the same thing on the Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios. I wanted to see the line, went through the line, out the coward's door.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's like whatever. I remember, I don't know why I would tell this story. This is the good old days. I went with Paula. I guess I don't know how we did this. This was a different time and place, apparently a different world. But we had weed in her purse, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at some it was like a drive-in movie looking dining thing.
Oh, the sci-fi movie.
It was cool.
Yeah,
You're sitting in the car.
The sci-fi diner drive-in or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's cool.
And the server was in character and everything, and we were like, hey, this is back in the day before you had a phone. We actually had a camera, and said, can you take our picture? Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, smile, say cheese and everything. Then he goes to hand the camera back to her, and he leans in and goes, your camera smells like weed. Like a warning. We're like, oh, okay. Because I don't know if that would have been a problem. It probably would have been because I was working
Maybe
there.
would have been.
But that's my memory. I don't know how we got away with that.
Well,
those are the old days.
At least you got off with a warning.
Yeah. No, I went high school. It was the first time I ever went. We went to Disney. The school band went to Disney. And I was with a crew of, we were no good. And there used to be a ride back then. It was called If You Had Wings.
Yes, I've heard the music from it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And we decided one day, because we were there all day, we got stoned and said, let's go on this ride all day, like 20 times, until we could recite, like Rocky Horror, till we could recite the thing. And we just went over and over and over until...
I know Pat liked that one back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you did.
And then the people, we would get in and say the thing along with the thing, and other people were like, yeah. Those were.
Did the workers look at you funny when they kept seeing you?
I don't remember. But yeah, that was our mission. We were like, let's do one ride all day and memorize the thing. It was funny.
I think the guys who wrote that theme song for that ride are the same ones who wrote all the biggies, like the Small World song. And
really?
The Sherman Brothers, I think they were.
Wow.
But I remember thinking, that song's kind of boring. I don't know how you listen to it that many times.
Wow.
Because they just wings, had wings, had wings,
yeah,
had
yeah,
wings.
And at the end, and the thing is, it's like there's the sponsor for the ride was like, you do have, as I remember.
Like when the airlines.
You do have wings. You can do all these things. Eastern. Let us be your wings. Like it was like something like that. Yeah. Have wings, have wings.
Wings, have wings, have wings. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That ride doesn't exist now.
No.
I went. Do you remember? There was a ride. I don't think it exists anymore. When I went, it was called Alien Encounter. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, no, that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Did you ever go on? That was wild.
No, but they turned that into the Stitch Alien Encounter. So where that creepy alien was in the jar or whatever, it became Stitch.
I don't know what Stitch is. I'm sorry.
From Lilo and Stitch, it's a cartoon movie that takes place in Hawaii, and this alien lands in Hawaii, and this little girl adopts this evil alien.
Okay.
And reforms him into a decent guy.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be evil.
Okay.
But then her heart touches his heart, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. And it's Stitch Encounter or something?
It was, and now that's closed.
Okay,
Now it's just there's nothing there right now.
Yeah, it was wild.
But yeah, I heard it was creepy as all get out.
Yeah, it's like nothing happens. You're sitting in the chair, but the chair does things to you.
Yeah, I remember that chair hurting me. Like we went to see the Stitch version, and like there's like the harness that goes over your shoulders.
Yeah.
It like boom, it like clamped me.
Yeah.
I couldn't have moved if I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't been to Disney in years.
Well, now they're building all sorts of new stuff. They're building a villains area.
Really?
Coming up like in a few years, which should be cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So that's the most exciting news I've heard in a while.
Yeah, I bet.
I dig the villains.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I could dig that. What else? I have wrap up questions, kind of, that will help to guide the end part. But I just want to make sure if there's anything that we did not talk about that you want to talk about that you think is relevant.
I don't know. We've talked about a lot that was probably irrelevant.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
But it's fun. So.
Well, the Pat Russo, like the music school, like the performances, like you guys are playing everywhere.
Yeah.
Bringing those kids everywhere.
Yeah, we've
That's
got 3 of our adult bands are playing at the Stand in Brantford soon on the 25th.
Yeah.
I think. And our kids are playing out in October in North Haven. And yeah, we're really active. Every month or every 2 months, we try to get them out to kind of not, it's to put theory into practice, I guess you'd say. And man, I would have killed to be able to do that when I was 12.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, totally.
I love seeing the kids develop, and each time they get better and more cohesive. And like, well, your guy Dean just did an amazing job at the School of Rock musical.
Yeah, I bet.
With Pat's guitar players. But yeah, like poor Dean, he couldn't relax for a second. He had to be like, because
Wow.
The lady in charge, wonderful.
Yeah, sure.
But she didn't want to give them a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
She just wanted to do a and go.
Sure,
and Dean had to be like hyper aware the whole time. So he was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know someone his age had that kind of attention span. He's so good.
Yeah. No, he is. He's something else. Yeah. Yeah. We had that talk. Yeah. He's well, that's fine. He's ready, but not every, but anyway, I kind of helped to explain that to him. I was like, dude, I know what you're capable of. Mm-hmm. But that she is going to have her way of doing it. So you kind of, and to be honest with you, as a musician, and especially even as a drummer, when you're an accompanist, I mean, sometimes you gotta let somebody else run it, even though you are capable. Yeah. But they don't know. Whoever's putting the thing on doesn't realize, and it is kind of freaky. It's like you can't underestimate him because he's for real. So.
So good.
But yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Well. So these are my desert island questions. These are my wrap-up questions. See, I'm all confused. Desert island albums, a handful that could define you in some kind of way.
Okay.
For our vast viewing public and listening public.
Okay. Oh man. Dulcinea by Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh wow.
Anything by Tori Amos. Anything by My Bloody Valentine and the Cocteau Twins. I like the shoegaze.
Now we're
shoegazy bands.
Yeah, me too.
Anything shoegaze is good. Shoot, who else? I don't know. I mean, I'm an '80s pop girl and a '90s alt rock girl. So anything in that category. I mean, I love like old school Sarah McLachlan. Her voice is just unbelievable. Sure. Bjork, Alice in Chains, love Alice in Chains. So yeah, it's a weird mix, I guess. But, but yeah, if I had to pick only 2 artists to ever listen to again, it'd probably be Toad the Wet Sprocket and Tori Amos.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know much about Toad the Wet Sprocket. What's that all about?
God, they're so good. Just they create amazing layers, and the singer who went solo for a while, he's just a great lyricist, and he writes great melodies, and they seem like good, generous guys.
Where are they from?
California, Santa Barbara, I believe, over there somewhere.
And they're still around?
Oh, yeah. I got to do the meet and greet last fall.
Oh, cool.
I think they're on tour right now. But they're supposed to do Powder Ridge, but somehow that got canceled, so they're going to do someplace in New Haven instead.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I'm not so into the idea of an outdoor show because I don't want to slap at mosquitoes while I'm listening to my favorite band.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But
that could be a thing.
But,
yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Cocteau Twins fan.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Fraser.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lush. Love Lush.
Oh, okay.
I did get to see them finally a few years ago. They, I think it was pre-COVID probably, but they came to New York City, and I dragged my sister along with me. I finally got to see them live, which was also a dream come true.
Cool.
She's, listening to her, she was the first singer I heard that led me to believe that I could be good enough to sing in a band.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a pinnacle moment. Because her voice is like good and solid with nice harmonies, but not fancy.
Okay.
You know, she wasn't like
So you're like, you could just do it.
Yeah.
There was a way to just do it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is...
Yeah.
She is the answer. Like, I don't have to be crazy or have like all this vibrato and all these other things. Like, I can be simple and be good and be myself, and
hey,
it was great. It was good inspiration.
Yeah, I bet. All right, well then, all right, we'll get back to that because you might already answer one of the questions.
Ooh.
So another one, desert island food. I don't know why I find this interesting, but I do. Because people usually have an answer. That's why.
Anything with sugar in it, but
okay.
I especially like custardy things like flan or creme brulee.
Wow.
Yeah, any kind of vanilla custard, and I'm happy.
Oh wow, that's cool. I don't even know if I've ever had it.
Oh God.
Really?
Delicious.
What the hell? What's custard?
Custard is like, it's like a pudding, but it has a lot of eggs in it, so it's very rich.
Eggs of what? Spider?
Whatever you want, I guess. Chickens, ducks, spiders, you know.
That's like I could never, when I was a kid, I could never eat tapioca because I would think it was like spider eggs.
It was
I couldn't
weird.
get that out of my head.
Yeah, I can't say what I think of that as on the air.
No.
I'll tell you another time.
Yeah. No, not good. A show, you might already answered, but a show or concert that you saw that flipped your script, that changed your life or blew your mind. That comes to mind.
That changed my life?
Because you're kind of saying like Lush, you were, that you kind of were like, oh, hey, I could do this.
Yeah. One, I don't know if it was life-changing, but one that really stands out is back when I was in college, like Smashing Pumpkins were all the rage. I love them too. And they were coming to the Hartford Civic Center, and Garbage was opening for them. And I had heard like maybe Stupid Girl on the radio, and I was like, what the hell ever.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to see Smashing Pumpkins. Smashing Pumpkins was so disappointing.
Really?
And we saw them again a few years ago. So disappointing.
Really?
Yeah, not
I don't care either
great.
way myself.
Not great. But Garbage was so good.
Wow.
She was so good, the whole band.
Yeah.
But her as a singer, like from that day, I bought everything and listened to everything, and her voice is so awesome. And like, I'm not an alto, so I really appreciate a great alto.
Yeah.
And just she's unbelievably great, and every note live was just as good as anything on the recording. They're so good. So that kind of changed my perception, just because you go hear bands and it's like sometimes it's a watered down version of what you're used to hearing.
Sure.
They were like sound perfect to everything. They were just so tight and so fantastic, and she was so powerful.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that band from that day.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah, I never thought about it. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I remember back in the day, I was I like Bjork, I like the records,
Never got to see her live.
I saw her. I went with Joe Delaney.
Oh,
we went to probably the Palace or the Schubert or whatever. And I suddenly, and then realized it was like, oh, like she's a great singer and she's incredibly loud. Like you could just realize that hearing the recording was only half of the experience. When you actually see the way she's doing it and how much volume she's putting out, you're like, oh, okay, she's a singer. Not that, I mean, now we know she is. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but I just realized that it was like, you thought, oh, this is far out weird music, and it's like, not really. It's based around her singing.
Yeah,
it's kind of backwards. She doesn't sing in a band. She composes the stuff around what she can sing, which is completely different.
Smart, but I think because she has like such an interesting personality and the way she presents herself, the swan dress and all the things, it's like there's like the personality side of her and then the substance side, and I think you forget like and people like I think Cyndi Lauper too is like that. Her appearance and the way she presents herself, but oh my God, the power and the artistry is so good.
I agree.
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what it was like with Bjork. And I always felt that way about Cyndi Lauper. I was like, well, she's a singer. Like the rest is whatever. But yeah, singing first. You made it.
For me, honestly, it's drumming first.
Really?
Yeah, only because like I have no idea how to do it. I have no idea. When I have a girls band, and when my drummer is trying to do stuff, I'm like, hit the thingy. No, not that one. The one that sounds lower. Yeah, hit that one.
Yeah, the other one.
But like for me, like the drum, I don't know. The drummer is everything. So that's.
I agree.
I agree. But like Mike in my band, he's basically the only one I listen to.
And I taught him everything he knows. Basically.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
you've done me a great service.
You're welcome. No. He's super talented. He's super talented.
He is. Oh my God. Have you heard him play keyboard?
No.
He can do anything.
Oh, really?
He kills me with how he can do everything.
Because Pat said he was a great guitar player. I didn't know. And he picked up drums really fast.
He can sing too.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. See now why I feel like the weakest link in my band.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. I wouldn't worry about that. It looks like you made it. You're almost there.
I was terrified.
Yeah. Why?
I don't like being on camera, and I don't like speaking in front of people. So
there's no people. These are not people. I
don't, and like the lack of ego thing. I'm like, what do I have to say that's interesting at all?
Well, don't worry about that. No, you did. It was fine.
Thanks.
People would like to see it and hear it. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Now you got it down. Now it exists.
True.
It'll never go away.
Oh gosh.
It's never gonna go away now.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, any last words? I'm gonna press the button.
I don't think so. I have nothing deep to add. Just
wow.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
it, and
it's nice to see you outside of the normal environment. And,
wow.
It's really nice of you to ask me. So
oh yeah. Well,
I never thought I'd make the list.
Why not?
Cause like I'm not one of your old cronies or whatever. I'm not. We don't have a history to hash out. So
we do now.
I guess we do.
There it is. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music. I lost it. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. It's all coming back to me. Drive over the Scary Bridge, pull a Yui, park in front of the Scary Music Store with the Scary red light. We have Scary vinyl merch. What else do we have here? We have Laughing Wonderful Times with Amity Wahl was here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later, kids. Drive safe. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.